underway. You can kill my mind for flow, hold me till I scream for air to breathe, and wash me over until my will runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby, baby, baby.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I hope all is well with you. Today we're coming with another story time. But before we do, know that all things are alleged, in my opinions, for entertainment and commentary purposes only. Please hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, hit that post notification bell so you're notified whenever I drop a video. And without further ado, let's get into this story time.
Story time about my girls' trip to Vegas that went horribly wrong and then ended with me being cussed out by your guys' favorite rapper and then being robbed for thousands of dollars by the end of this fucking trip. So to protect the identity of everybody in this situation, I will be using code names clearly, but we're going to start off with 4 girls, okay? Myself being one of the girls, obviously. So the 4 girls are myself, my cousin. We're going to call this girl Pebbles, and then we're going to call my bestie who was on this trip. We're just going to call her Bestie, just to make things simple. So it's my cousin's graduation from college. Obviously, it's a huge thing. I want to celebrate it. We love celebrating. So, of course, this is a huge achievement, right? You're graduating from college. Of course, we have to go on a girls' trip. And, of course, it just makes sense to go to fucking Vegas because why not? So I set up everything for this trip. I set up the room. I have a plug that will get us free rooms. I have like all the situations set up. So pretty much we don't have to spend any of our own money. So I'm planning pretty much this trip 100% by myself. And my cousin, she brings Pebbles, which is her best friend. And then I bring my bestie to this trip. Okay. Obviously, we had a group chat with all 4 of us in it, just discussing the trip and like what our itinerary was, whatever. The day comes, we all have different flights. So me and Bestie have one flight, and then Pebbles and cousin have the same flight. So we all land at different times though. So me and Bestie land pretty early in the day. My cousin and and Pebbles, they land a little bit later than us.
It's a little confusing listening to her because I can't figure out whether each person was on a different flight or if there were 2 flights, her and her bestie on one, and her cousin and her cousin's bestie on the other. Because she kept saying we all had different flights, but then said, you know, again, that her bestie and her were on one, and her cousin and her cousin's bestie were on another, but then she said we all arrived at different times. What? So confused, but carry on.
And then while me and my bestie are getting dressed to go to dinner, I get a text from my cousin and Pebbles in the group chat. And they said, hey, we're going to stop at this Jamaican food spot for dinner because we haven't ate all day. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. We'll see you guys when we see you. Like, no rush. We'll all link up to go out later that night. So it just so happened, I'm going to call my friend Ace. So my homeboy Ace that just happened to be out there the same time as me is out there doing his thing, whatever. And he hit me and was like, hey, do you want to go get dinner with my friends? He had a group of friends that were out in Vegas. And they just happened to be staying at the same hotel as like our whole group. So I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we all link up for dinner. So it's me and Bestie and then Ace and all his homeboys or whatever. And Ace, he's a little bit of a baller, whatever. So he rented out like this whole area of like the restaurant that we were at. So time goes by and we're enjoying the dinner with Ace and his friends and me and Bestie. We're just having drinks, we're eating. We've been there for a minute at this point and my cousin still hasn't pulled up to the hotel. By the time she gets there, I tell her, hey, come meet me at this restaurant. I'll give you the hotel key so that you can go up to the room and just, get ready so that we can go out later tonight. My cousin hits me and she's like, hey, I'm outside. So I meet them outside of the restaurant and I give them the key. Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, oh, so you guys are just going to go out to dinner and not tell us anything? And I'm like, girl, y'all have food in your hand. Y'all went to a Jamaican spot by yourselves. Like, I can't help that you chose to do something different. And she's like, well, why wouldn't you tell us that you guys were going out to eat at a nice restaurant and you know, like, you guys rented out like a whole area of the restaurant and you didn't even tell us. Like, we would have rather have did that. So I proceed to tell her, like, oh girl, like, you know, it is what it is. You guys, you know, it was last minute. Had I known that you guys were going to take that long, you know, you guys wouldn't have even made it in time. Like, it was just like a coincidence that my friend was out here and we all just went to dinner last minute. Mind you, Pebbles I have only known for like less than a year. Like, I had seen her maybe once or twice in passing with my cousin, but like, I didn't know her like that. She's not my friend. She is my cousin's best friend. So like, for you to even start talking to me like that, red flag already. And it's not even day one. It's hour one of this girls trip.
Right. And when you're not friends with people and they feel that comfortable coming out the side of their neck to you, it tells me that there's a lot of backdoor conversations that's being had. I can't stand people who come on vacation to start mess. We're supposed to be letting our hair down, having fun, enjoying ourselves, and here you go starting some mess. Oh, well, I wish you would have said something, and I wish you wouldn't be here, or I wish you wouldn't have said something to me. Guess that's two of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. Just looking for something to be mad at. Like, y'all got there late, and it sounds like they were waiting around for them, and they ended up going to grab something to eat in the meantime, in between time, and you know, y'all got off y'all plane. Y'all said, oh, I'm going to eat this. It sounded like they were already at the restaurant prior to them getting off the plane or, you know, contacting them. And so it wouldn't make sense to have y'all pull up after everyone's done eating. Are they supposed to starve waiting for y'all? Because y'all didn't think to be like, oh, well, we won't eat till we link with them and see what they're doing. Or, you know, establishing some type of plan. Y'all let them know we're grabbing food here, here, and here. They had already ate, so they're like, all right, cool. That's what it sounds like to me. But to make an issue out of it, it just looks like, or seems like, you just want to have a problem.
So my cousin kind of intervenes and she's like, you know, whatever, it's cool. Like, we're going to go upstairs and get dressed. You know, I wish you guys would have invited us, whatever. I guess I could have said something in the group chat. But y'all were already like 2 hours later. We had already been at the restaurant for like 2 hours. So it's like, girl, there's nothing we could do. Anyways, dinner ends. Me and Bestie go upstairs to our hotel room with Pebbles and my cousin to, you know, go out for the night. Mind you guys, this is night one. And let me say this too, actually. I got us such a beautiful hotel room. So clean, luxurious. There was 2 different wings of this hotel room, okay? Not even to like flex, but like my friends that have traveled with me before and we go out like on trips, I be making sure we have all the nice shit, okay? When I'm planning it, I make sure everyone has their own room, everyone's comfortable, everyone has their own situation, okay? So as we're getting dressed, Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, again, this room is dirty. This room looks so dirty. Like, who booked this room? And I'm like, girl, what do you mean who? This is a 5-star hotel and we're in a huge fucking suite, okay? This isn't like, oh, one of the basic rooms, 2 beds, 1 bath. This is a big ass suite, okay?
And that's when you politely tell her to go find her own clean hotel to stay in then. Because that's exactly what I would have done. You're not about to sit here and play in my face and keep throwing digs and trying to start ish in a room, whether she paid for it or not. Something she established, something she got. She got that room for them. So I'd be damned if I bent over backwards to get this room, or even if I didn't have to bend over backwards. The fact that I am the one that got this room, you ain't about to be sitting in here popping your ish as if you had to pay. Girl, shut up and be grateful.
So I'm just kind of ignoring her. I'm just like, whatever. Once we go out, hopefully the energy changes and we, you know, I won't hear her mouth. We get in our Uber to go to Dre's, and if you know Dre's, that's like the best club in Vegas. It's my favorite club. I always go there every time I go. It's just such a vibe. I love just everything there. So we get into Dre's, and of course, Pebbles and my cousin. Pebbles tells my cousin, oh, you know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, let's go to the bathroom, right? And so I'm like, oh, I don't need to go to the bathroom, like, y'all can go, right? So my cousin was like, okay, we'll be back, we're gonna go to the bathroom, as we're in the club, right? So they walk off, they go to the bathroom. Me and Bestie are just peeping out the scene, we're walking up, looking cute, whatever. And obviously, as I expected, because they were like, oh, like, we don't know anybody's booth, da, da, da. Instantly, as soon as we walk in, within the next, like, first 5 minutes, somebody comes up to us and is like, hey, I am such and such's producer or assistant or something, and he would love for you guys to come to the artist booth. He's about to perform, you know, and hang out with us for the night. Okay, cool. But I had already told the assistant, I was like, hey, I have 2 other girls with me. I have my cousin and I have her best friend. So just make sure that there's enough room for all 4 of us. And she goes, oh, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You guys are all good. Just, like, you know, let me know when your cousin and her friend get out the bathroom, right? So I text the group chat with all 4 of us, and I'm like, hey, we're going to go to the artist booth. Let me know when you guys get out of the bathroom so I can grab you. And then this is when my cousin started to act a little bit weird. So she texts the group chat and she goes, why would you leave us? Why would you leave us knowing that we just went to the bathroom? How could you leave us? I'm like, girl, we didn't leave you. I just told you when you get out the bathroom, let me know. I'm going to have the girl come down and get you guys so we can all sit together. Like, what's not clicking? So as I told them, when they got out of the bathroom, the assistant went down and grabbed the girls so that they can come to the artist booth and sit with all of us. Okay, great. However, my cousin and Pebbles both seemed like they had a little bit of an attitude, okay? You know when you're, like, texting somebody, you're texting your friend, but you guys are texting, like, when you're next to each other, like, it's like you're gossiping about the situation? That's what was going on. I could clearly tell my cousin was texting Pebbles talking shit about me, okay? But the night goes on. We all are drinking. We're all having fun. Like, they're ordering, like, all these, like, Don Julio bottles, like, 1942, like, bottles, right? So obviously at that point, the energy has definitely changed. Everyone's in a great mood. We're all having fun. The vibe is perfectly fine. The rapper that we were with got off of his set and he's chilling with us. We're all having fun, talking, dancing, drinking, whatever. So then Pebbles comes up to me while we're in the booth. She's like, hey, I'm going to try to, you know, mess with the rapper. I'm going to try to see, you know, what's up with him. Y'all, not even 3 minutes into her saying that, I hear the rapper tell me, oh, it's a dead body. Your friend's a dead body. I'm like, what? I look to my left and I see Pebbles asleep in the booth, nodding off. But as she's nodding off, she is violently throwing up on herself, on the table, on her shoes, on all the guys' shoes, on the rapper's shoes. She's just throwing up on everything inside of the ice bucket, okay, at the freaking table. What happens next? The rapper takes out his phone and he starts recording my friend throwing up on herself with the flash on. And this is the end of part 1. Who the fuck did I go to Vegas with? Part two. Okay, so we left off. We are in the club at Dre's in Vegas. At this point, we're all having fun. The vibe has definitely changed. Everyone's having a good time, right? Okay, cool. Pebbles had told me she's going to try to mess with the rapper. I said, okay, girl, do your big one, right? Okay, cool. So 3 minutes after she says, I'm going to, you know, try to mess with the rapper taps me and says, hey, like, your friend is a dead body. Your friend's a dead body, right? Okay, we get that part. I look over and her head is literally in between her legs and she's throwing up everywhere, right? As she's doing this, Meek Mill had started to perform, like, as the next artist, the opening, whatever. So Meek Mill's starting to perform and this is all going on at one time. So it's, like, completely chaotic. Like, I can't hear anybody, but I can just see what's going on and I have vomit on my feet, right? And my bestie was not the one who was vomiting. It was Pebbles, okay? I don't know if that got lost in translation. It was Pebbles. So my bestie taps my cousin and she says, hey, you know, Pebbles is over here throwing up. Like, you need to get her. You need to get her. So y'all, my cousin is, like, just ignoring us at this point. She's recording. Meek Mill is up there playing Dreams and Nightmares. And then in the background, the rapper is recording my friend Pebbles throwing up all over everybody, right? So it was so bad at this point that my bestie got out of the booth and she went to go grab a security guard and said, hey, like, we need help. Our friend is, like, blackout drunk. She cannot move. Like, she can't even stand. And as my bestie is talking to the security guard, I'm talking to the rapper and I'm telling him to stop filming her, like stop filming, like putting my hand up. And like it got to the point where I like hit the phone out of his hand, like smashed, like, you know, like wadded his phone. And he's like, don't touch my phone, don't, like going off, right? So after I did that, obviously we are not welcome in the booth. They are telling us to leave, right? My bestie is still trying to convince the security guard to come help us so we can leave. And I am like arguing back and forth with the rapper, and I'm trying to pick up Pebbles from the floor pretty much to pull her out of the booth. But then I notice, where is cousin at? Where is cousin at? This is her friend. So you guys, I look to my right and cousin is already standing outside of the booth, just looking at us, just watching us pick her up. Because at this point, bestie had came back into the booth and we're both trying to pick her up. As we're being yelled at by everybody in the whole section. Like everyone's yelling at us to get out, calling us names and all this crazy stuff. Like super duper embarrassing. And we're still being recorded by hella people with the flash on. It was just like so chaotic. And then on top of it, this is not even my friend. Like, why should I have to leave when I'm having fun because of this situation? But honestly, she was so messed up to the point where it was like, I had to leave. Like, my cousin would not be able to take care of her by herself. And the freaking security guards were like, oh, you guys need to figure it out on your own. You guys need to figure it out on your own or call 911. So I kid you guys not. As me and bestie picked up this girl and we're dragging her out of the club, mind you, we have to go downstairs. We have to do hella shit to get out of the club. Cousin is just like, well, what do you want me? I'm like looking at her like, help me. She's like, well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I can't do anything either. I can't do anything either. And I'm like, oh my, I'm literally about to like crash out right now. We are finally outside of the club, okay? So we're outside of the club waiting for the truck to come pick us up. But as we are walking out of the club, Pebbles is falling on herself, like falling so hard on her face, on her hands. Like as we're, and then cousin is walking hella far in front of us. It's literally me and bestie carrying her outside as she's stumbling. People are following us, taking videos of us, like laughing at the situation. And then on top of it, she was still throwing up so badly that no truck would actually take us. We like missed 3 trucks. So we had stood outside of the club for a good probably like 45 minutes because nobody wanted to give us a ride. Finally, we get a ride. She stops throwing up long enough so that we can actually get into a truck to go back to our hotel, right? So we get back to the hotel. It was dead silent. Nobody's saying anything because everybody's so pissed. Like I was fuming, like so annoyed, but it's like I can't really be too annoyed because we got to make sure Pebbles is good first before I really crash out the way that I want to. We finally pull up to our hotel. We get up to the room, we get Pebbles changed, and she lays on the couch, and then I decide like I'm done with the night. Like I'm not even trying to do anything anymore at this point, right? However, cousin, she goes, oh, well, I know somebody out here, so I'll leave. I'll see you guys later. So she just leaves, right? How are you just gonna leave and this is your friend that ruined our whole night, and then you're just gonna go and like go have your fun after the night was just totally ruined? And that completely pissed me off. And this is only, mind you, night 1 of this 3 or 4 day girls trip. I was so furious, and it wasn't, everyone's an adult, so I can't just tell my cousin, no, you can't leave, you need to stay with your friend. Or if anything, me and bestie should be the one leaving, and you should be staying here looking out for your friend to make sure she doesn't die. So whatever, cousin leaves, she makes her own plans, and she's out of the hotel. So it's just me, Pebbles, bestie sitting in the hotel room, and I'm just reflecting over the whole night. And meanwhile, Pebbles is knocked out. She has no clue what's going on. So me and bestie are like, F it. We watch some episodes of Grey's Anatomy at this point, and we knock out in our room. It's the next morning at this point. Me and bestie woke up, but you know when you're awake but you're not really awake, you're just kind of like scrolling on your phone in the dark. So that's what we're doing. We're not talking, we're just scrolling on Instagram or whatever we're doing at the time, right? And then we hear a little knock on the door. And who is it? None other than Pebbles. Pebbles wakes up and I'm not kidding you guys, she is in a great mood. She is like laughing. She's like, good morning, you guys. Let's go downstairs and get breakfast. I feel so good. Last night was so fun. Da 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 da. What? So I'm getting ready to say what really happened and break it down to her, because obviously she was so lit. She has no recollection of anything that happened, how she even got home at this point. But as I'm getting ready to break the news to her, I hear Bestie in the background listening to some video on a loop. It just sounds like she's watching the same video on a loop. So I'm kind of like, what are you watching? And Bestie just doesn't even say anything. She just puts her phone on the bed for all of us to see what she's looking at. What was the video of, you may ask? Well, the video was a clip that had gotten posted on the Shade Room, and this video had about probably like 50,000 views at the time. And in this video, you guys, it shows Pebbles throwing up all over the table, and it also shows the rapper trying to take off Pebbles' wig. He's trying to pull it off of her. And in the video, you can also see me and the other girls trying to pick up Pebbles to get her out of the booth, and then you see me also like swatting the rapper's hand to try to stop the video from being, filmed. Y'all, it was so silent in that hotel room as we were watching that video. Could have heard a needle drop in that bitch because it was so quiet and it was so awkward. Immediately, like once I noticed her reaction, obviously she's so devastated, I immediately like try to comfort her. I'm like, you know what, do not sweat it. Like, it is what it is. What's done is done. Like, but maybe you should go home because this is a lot. Like, this is gonna ruin your whole time here. Like, me and Bestie told Pebbles, like, don't claim that it's you. Just let them watch it, let it be posted. But you don't have to say that that's you. That could just be any random ass girl on the internet. Just don't claim responsibility. Like, she immediately starts replying to the comments on the Shade Room saying, that's me, that I'm the girl, y'all. And then this girl goes on Instagram live and starts talking about the whole night. And as she's going live, her live starts going super viral. Like, there's literally like 5,000 or 10,000 people that immediately join her live to see what she's talking about. So at this point, we are telling her, get off of Instagram live. Like, you are making yourself look so crazy. You're trying to like defend yourself, but there's nothing to defend. When I tell you guys, she ran out of the room and runs to the other side of this giant ass hotel and locks herself in the bathroom for like an hour and is continuously going on live, trying to talk about what happened, just trying to get clout off of the whole situation, which was embarrassing for everybody in the group. So we're watching her Instagram live from the other room, and her mom enters the live. Like, they're both on the video screen talking. And the mom goes, well, why weren't the bitches you were with helping you? Who are the bitches? So at this point, cousin re-enters the scene. She's back in the hotel room with all of us. So now the vibe has become Bad Girls Club. It's us two against them two at this point, because everyone's mad at us and we're mad at them. So Bestie was just like, let's just let bygones be bygones. Let's just continue on. This is only day 2 of this trip. We still have like 3 more days with each other. Let's just make amends. Okay, cool. I'm fine with it. But did you think that that was the end of the trip? Do you think that was the end of the drama? No, we're getting to the part where I get robbed. So stay tuned for part 3. Part 3. Who did I go to Vegas with? And I want to preface this by saying the people that are trying to find the video, do not do that. That is not the point of this video. And I initially posted this just to share my POV from honestly a situation that was super traumatic. And if this can save one person that's contemplating going on a girls trip with people they might not know as well, then let this be your sign. Like I said in the previous video, there is so much tension between all 4 of the girls. It honestly feels like it is an episode of Bad Girls Club. It is Pebbles and cousin versus me and Bestie. I would like to add that I did suggest to Pebbles, if you don't want to go home, maybe we should go to the hospital if you feel like something has been done to you, which is not right. Pebbles declined that offer. And everyone is an adult. I cannot force anyone to do something that they do not want to do. With that being said, we all decide that we want to go to a day party that morning. but I'm still feeling a little bit frustrated because Pebbles is still on Instagram Live. So we all four walk as a group to the rideshare pickup area of our hotel to go ahead and head to the next location. Pebbles and cousin are walking a little bit ahead of me and Bestie, and I get a call from a no caller ID on my personal number. Sir, and I hear a voice of a man on the phone, and he is saying, "Why the is your friend on Instagram Live trying to lie on me?" What? And then it all clicks in my mind. I had given my number to Rapper's manager the night before because they wanted to hang out with us all weekend. And I did this strictly so our accommodations could be conveniently set up for the remainder of the trip. Rapper is on the phone going in on me. He's saying he knows what hotel we're staying at. So I'm sitting on the phone listening to him go off on me, and I'm just like, huh? Simultaneously, as I'm being cussed out by the rapper on the phone, Bestie is watching Pebbles on Instagram Live, and her mom are still talking about the situation. Pebbles' mom is saying stuff like, well, why the you were with not sticking up for you, they left you for dead, they don't give a F about you, yada yada yada. Which is completely untrue. I am so overstimulated and I am so overwhelmed. I grab Bestie and I tell her, we are having our own separate trip at this point. I cannot take it anymore. Mind you, this is at the rideshare pickup in front of everybody. Pebbles and cousin are in the Uber watching me say this to Bestie. So I'm trying to explain to Pebbles is like, yo, you are doxing our location. Like, you continuously going on Instagram Live. What if Rapper had somebody come and jump us? Anything could happen. So I'm like, you are escalating the situation more than it needs to be. So of course, nobody's trying to hear me. So once we pull up to the day party, what do me and Bestie do? Honestly, we leave Pebbles and cousin because they are not complying with the program. They eventually decide that they are actually going to leave the day party and go do their own thing. Me and Bestie stay at the day party and we enjoy our whole day. Me and her have no issues. Cousin is starting to feel bad though at this point after they leave the day party because she's texting me saying, hey, I'm sorry about everything that's going on. We decided to go here. I'm gonna get Pebbles together and I want to try to make amends so that we can salvage the rest of this trip together. If you know me, you know I love cousin down. She's like my little sister, so I can't stay mad at her for too long. I instantly text back and I say, okay, I'm fine with it. Let's all talk about it as a group when we all get back to the hotel later that night. All four of us get back to the hotel room and we have a serious heart-to-heart discussion about everything that transpired over the weekend so far. We come to a decision that we are going to let everything go and start fresh. Pebbles makes a promise to all of the girls that she is going to control the amount of time she spends on Instagram Live. I am not trying to tell her she cannot go on live at all to share her story, but at the same time, you cannot show their locations we are at because you are making it very unsafe for all of us here. She also makes a promise saying that she is going to reel her mom back in because her mom is still talking about the situation on Instagram Live. Pebbles' mom was also tagging us in posts trying to send a lot of hate towards me and Bestie because she thinks that we were not helping her the way that she should have been helped, making me feel really uncomfortable because I'm not going to sit here and argue with somebody's mom. Next morning, we decide to go out again, all four of us, and the vibes are completely different. Everyone's getting along. Pebbles actually comes through and she hooks us up with a free cabana, our own booth, food, drinks, bottle service, the whole 9 yards. And she got this through her friend DJ. DJ is a code name. We are going to be protecting DJ's identity as well. Pebbles is vouching for DJ, saying, oh, he's good people, we go way back, we've been friends for years, right? And as day becomes night, DJ suggests that he wants to get all four of us a booth so that we can all go out together later that day. For me, there were 0 red flags at this point. We are all enjoying each other's company and we all go back in the truck to our hotel together. The only thing that I thought was a little bit strange in the moment was that DJ did not leave the hotel while we were getting dressed. He actually brought clothes with him from the day party to our hotel to get dressed with us. And Pebbles didn't really ask us if it was okay. He just kind of invited himself up. I didn't really speak on it because the room was big enough to where they could be on a separate wing and me and Bestie were on the other side. So I didn't really have to interact with them when I'm getting dressed. DJ stays true to his word and he gets us a really great booth at the club that we went to that night, and we had a great night, all 5 of us together. So all 5 of us go back to our hotel, and I just still thought it was weird that DJ is still with us. I would have thought that because he lives in Vegas, he would just go home, right? Unfortunately, Bestie is leaving that same morning. She had to leave a day earlier than all 3 of us. I'm staying an additional day with Cousin and Pebbles. In my mind, there is no more beef between all of us. We have squashed it, and we have had a good weekend, despite the first night being so awful. For our last night, I kind of just wanted all 3 of us to go out to dinner, do something chill, just have like a really fun final girls' night all together. But we get to the point where it's time to make our plans, and Cousin and Pebbles decided that they actually want to stay in the room for the final night and hang out with the 2 guys that they met over the weekend. So Cousin had somebody and Pebbles had DJ, leaving me as the 5th wheel. That is completely not my vibe, but me being the team player that I am, I'm like, you know what? You guys go ahead and have fun. I'm gonna find my own solo mission to do. And I decide I'm gonna go downstairs and have dinner and just enjoy the vibes by myself. I'm enjoying dinner by myself at the bar, and I see some OGs that I know who are professional gamblers at the casino where the restaurant's at. And they see me by myself, and they're like, oh my God, like, you gotta come with us. You gotta come with us to the table. We're gonna teach you how to play, yada, 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 right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm by myself. Like, y'all teach me how to play. Maybe I'll win some money. And that's exactly what happens. They take me to the table. They're trying to teach me how to play dice. And instantly, I hit $500 within the first 5 seconds I'm standing there. And the OGs I'm with, they're teaching me how to do it, so I just keep hitting, right? I'm having so much fun. I didn't realize that like 3 or 4 hours had passed and I was still standing at the table. Damn, I'm getting tired, and I have a flight within like 6 hours, so it's time for me to go upstairs and go to bed. So the OGs I'm with, they show me how to cash my chips. I won about $3,000, so I'm so excited. Everyone's hyping me up. I take my money, put it in my purse. I get in the elevator to go back upstairs to my room. I run into my room where my cousin is at. She's sleeping, and I'm shaking the hell out of her. I'm like, girl, I just won $3,000. Like, girl, you should have came with me. You would have won too. We would have been all up. She just is kind of like, oh, I'm so glad. You know, we have a flight early in the morning, but, you know, let's talk about it tomorrow, right? But I could not fall asleep at this point. I was just very excited and had so much energy. So I go in the living room and I'm just making funny videos to myself, and I'm just having the money that I won and I'm throwing it up in the air, just making silly videos for myself. I take my earnings from the night, I put it in my purse. I also had maybe an additional $900 with me that was for spending while we were on the trip. But what I didn't clock was that DJ was still in the room with Pebbles asleep. And how loud I was telling Cousin about my money situation, I instantly kind of felt a little bit uncomfortable. Just to show you guys exactly what I did, I had this bag. I put the cash inside of this bag, and I wrapped the chain around my bag, like so. I take this same purse and put it in my bathroom near the sink in my bedroom and shut the door. I immediately knock out, and I'm not even thinking about this anymore. I wake up the next morning and Pebbles, Cousin, and DJ are all gone out of our hotel room. But when I look at my phone, Cousin is explaining to me via text that she and Pebbles left early that morning and they didn't want to wake me up because their flight was a little bit earlier than mine. As we are on the phone, I check my Instagram DMs and I have a bunch of messages from DJ. He sent me about 5 or 6 messages saying that he left his wallet and his ID at our hotel room and that he would like to come back to the room to come pick it up. I tell him that's absolutely fine, and naturally I look around the hotel to see if I can find his wallet for him before he gets back to the room. I'm on the phone with Cousin at this point and I'm just talking about the trip and our day. When I walk out of my room, I go into the kitchen and I see my purse sitting on the kitchen counter, sitting completely open. When I look inside, what had previously been more than $3,000 had less than $5. This is all happening while I'm on the phone with Cousin. And DJ is still blowing up my phone at this point, saying that he's outside and he needs to enter the room to look for his ID. Cousin adds Pebbles to a 2-way call and we're all 3 on the phone together. While I'm talking, I'm also tearing up our hotel room, the couches, the bed, everything to see if I just dropped the money somewhere in the hotel. Pebbles starts trying to tell me, maybe you lost it in the elevator. Comment down below if you ever lost $4,000 in an elevator. As I'm telling this story time to Pebbles and Cousin on the phone, DJ blocks me on Instagram and my text messages, despite saying that he was outside of the room knocking on the door wanting to come in to find his wallet. And Pebbles starts sticking up for DJ, saying, well, why would DJ try to steal your money? He's not like that. He has his own bread. You need to stop trying to accuse people that you might have lost. Again, who has ever lost $4,000 in an elevator? And if DJ did not take my money, why would he instantly block me as soon as I start telling you what happened? While I'm sitting in this beat up ass hotel room because I just tore everything up at this point, what comes on the speaker playing music? Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. That was my final straw. I leave my hotel room broke, busted, disgusted, and head to the airport by myself, leaving with $0 that I brought with me on this trip. I get home and I make a vow that I will never speak to Pebbles ever again in my life. And I still never have, despite Pebbles and her mom messaging both me and my parents harassing us because I'm sharing my truth of what happened to me on this trip. Me and cousin also fell out for more than a year, and I ended up not even going to her graduation party, which was the whole point of us even initially going on this trip in the first place. With that being said, this is the final part of who did I go to Vegas with. And if you are on the fence deciding if you want to go on a girls trip with girls you might not know as well, let this be your sign to stay home.
Can I start off by saying I cannot stand ratchet mamas? I'm all for being an advocate for your child and all of that. Don't get me wrong. You absolutely should be as a mother, as a parent, period, right? But there's a difference between being an advocate and an enabler. Your daughter should not have been that far gone. Now, unless, obviously, there were some other enhancers in the drinks, which is always a possibility. But why didn't Pebbles correct her ratchet mother and say, no, actually, they were vouching for me and they were fighting for me, etc. Because we know she knows, even though she was inebriated at the time, she seen the video. Because remember, Bestie showed them the video, or she had it playing in a loop when they were in the bed chilling. She showed them what happened. So Pebbles is well aware that Bestie and I forget her name, the storyteller, were actually vying for her. We're actually fighting for her. But my question is where was your bestie, which is the storyteller's cousin? Why? That's the person that should be getting all the heat for not having her back, because she didn't. Not once. She's trifling. I wouldn't trust her, because if you turn your back on your friend and your cousin kind of like that, I have nothing for you. You have no loyalty to nobody but yourself. I couldn't. I feel like she couldn't debunk what her mom was saying because she wanted to have a problem with the storyteller. But then it makes you wonder why. Like I said, when people treat you a certain way, it's because there's a lot of backdoor conversations going on. And in my opinion, that cousin is talking a whole lot of shish that got that girl feeling away to the point where she dislikes her already. And I think that's where it's stemming from. But I wonder who the rapper is. She said that the video was on Shade Room, trending, like going viral. I am not that vested to the point where I'll go check, because Shade Room posts every second, and I don't even know when it happened, so I'd be sitting there scrolling all day long. But I'm wondering who was the artist that was filming that, she knocked the phone out of their hand and had all of this kind of back and forth with. I wonder who it was. Do y'all know? Do y'all think y'all have an idea who it could be? Inquiring minds want to know. If y'all know, y'all drop it down in the comment section. As for that stolen money, Pebbles clearly was aware of what was going on. Her and that friend probably conspired to steal and split it, because what are the odds that when she got on the phone is when he commenced to blocking her? So remember, she was on the phone with her cousin. The cousin didn't say anything. So I don't know if the cousin was aware of what was going on. She may have been, just because why are you taking up for your friend after the fact? You didn't stick with your cousin, you stuck with your friend, which also coincides with what I said before. The reason why the friend didn't like the storyteller is because the cousin has been talking hella shish about her. I bet you that. And that's why it was so easy for her to side with the friend versus her own blood cousin. But I kind of feel like she was aware because the storyteller woke her cousin up to let her know, like, oh, I won X, amount of dollars, or I won money, whatever. And then you can't lead me to believe that you seen your cousin's purse on the countertop and you ain't think nothing of it. Even though she may not have known that her cousin put the money there, it's just, I mean, I don't see her being type of person to leave her belongings all around. And it was a Gucci purse or something like that. You're not going to leave your stuff laying around with people who you don't even know in the hotel room. Not only did she not know the cousin's best friend, but she also didn't know the cousin's best friend's friend. So you mean to tell me you seen that and you ain't think like, why is her purse out here? Yeah, it's given that cousin is an op. But what do y'all think of that guy coming back and trying to get into the room? I'm glad that she kind of spilled the beans and they gave him a heads up in the sense of for her safety. You don't know what he could have came back and tried to do if he felt like he was caught or cornered. You never know people's mental, and she didn't know him. So, he's the way I think, he's plausible to do anything. I don't put nothing past nobody, but there was clearly something there that he wanted to get to. I don't know whether it was truly his ID or something else, but there was definitely something he was eager to get back to, and I don't know what it was again, but I'm glad she didn't let him in. Well, what are your thoughts, cousins, on this story time? Y'all let me know what y'all think of all of this in a comment section down below. Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Listen, I like chocolate girl, all shades, different flavors. She a diamond and a pearl. She a goddess with a mentor, yeah. Cinnamon swirl. She relate to what I've been through, yeah.